Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, my name is HeRRO. I make daily NBA slate breakdowns on DraftKings, as well as daily NBA prize pick videos. So a lot of good content for you guys to enjoy. Definitely leave a like, subscribe. Do appreciate all your support. We got over 500 subscribers now, which is huge. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for all the support. I do truly appreciate it. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, HeRRO. Answer any questions you guys have, talk DFS, put up prize pick plays, DFS core plays, all that good stuff. Yeah, so follow me there. And let's look back at my lineup from last night. Unfortunate, I went with Clay, captain. I'm expecting Clay to step up in one of these games. I thought it would be hopefully last game, but obviously it didn't happen. He got me 50 fantasy points, which is just okay. Luka obviously did pretty well. Poole, disappointing. Dinwiddie was nice off the bench. Otto Porter Jr. unfortunately got hurt, so that really hurt. And then Kleber was just horrendous. So yeah, I missed cash by like 30 points just because of how bad Otto Porter were. Or obviously Otto's out, Kleber was horrible, and then Poole was just very disappointing. Kind of with Clay as well. So it was just a very disappointing lineup, or how you guys performed my lineup yesterday. The winning lineup in the big contest was the guy who had 42 entries. Actually, what? Yeah, no, like 63. I don't even know. The guy got first, second, which was wild. He got $170,000, but he had Luka and the captain, Steph, Wiggins, which I always talk about Wiggins, how he's good, Dinwiddie, and then Bertans and Moody. Like, this dude squeaked out a solo first with one of his lineups. Otherwise, he would have split with like 4 or 5 other people. They would have had Powell, Moody, but that's just a horrendous lineup when it comes to, he really just needed Luka to have a really big scoring game, which he did. Otherwise, this lineup wouldn't have won because Bertans and Moody only getting you 9 points between them. I mean, you got pretty much hit the luck, strike of luck right here with this lineup just because of how well Wiggins did alongside Steph. Obviously, Luka had 40 and 11. But yeah, squeaked out a win by like 1.2. So that's the winning lineup. And now let's look back at the lineup from the Heat and Celtics from 2 days ago. Horford was obviously one of the best captain plays alongside Jaylen Brown. Tatum was horrible. Bam did really well. Marcus Smart, Kyle Lowry, and PJ Tucker. And now going into today, we know that Tatum is most likely going to play. Probable. Still hasn't officially been enrolled in, but I'm assuming he'll play. Same thing with Jimmy. Still have to wait on that news, but assuming both will play and both will, play their full run. Marcus Smart, questionable, but should be able to play. And Struce, questionable, should be playing. Same thing with Lowry. Same thing, or actually Robert Williams questionable, so we'll have to wait on that news. But the big news is Tyler HERRO got ruled out, so that is huge news. That's 15 to 20 points off the bench, about 25-ish minutes that has to be filled in by some other people. So we'll go over that news. But starting off, I really like Tatum today for a bounce back spot. Obviously the minutes are secure, the shots are pretty much secure. Just had a horrible game last game, 3 of 14, 10 points, only got 1 point in the second half. Did hurt his shoulder, so maybe there's a little bit of, risk when it comes to him shooting, because I think it was his right shoulder. So I guess you can be wary about that, but I expect a huge bounce back spot from him. The last time we saw him have a horrendous shooting game, it was versus Milwaukee. 4 of 19, 10 points. Pretty much the same, a rebound, 3 assists. What did he do the next game? Shot it 24 times, put up 30 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. So really expecting a huge bounce back game here from Tatum. I don't mind getting into him as captain, kind of going that chalky route for today. And then just because of HERRO being ruled out, you can get a little bit different with some of those Heat guys. Jimmy Butler, I don't mind going to Jimmy. I do think that Miami may have, changed their game plan a little bit when it comes to force feeding the ball to Bam a little bit more, trying to get those other guys involved. Because if they don't, they're going to lose this series. So I like Jimmy, even though the Heat did win. I mean, they got lucky with kind of just the multiple Celtics injuries, the turnovers at the end by Grant Williams. So they squeaked out a win, but I just don't think they can ride Jimmy like they have been these playoffs to a victory, just with how good the Celtics usually shoot the ball. But I do expect Jimmy to have his normal amount of minutes, probably, closer to 40. I do expect him to play well. I mean, he's a great player, so I don't mind getting him at captain. Jaylen Brown, probably going to be super popular today. I talked about him at the beginning of this series about how I expect Jaylen Brown to really step up in this series, and he has. Unfortunately, I didn't listen to myself, and I don't think I've played him in any of my lineups, maybe the first game. But he's done very, very well. 45 fantasy points, 40, 54. Obviously, last game, he did a little bit more than usual just because no one else on the team could score. It was pretty much only Jaylen Brown, and then Al Horford kind of stepped up at the end. So maybe the points will probably come back down to normal, probably around his average of 24. He will get the minutes. It just comes down if he's going to rebound the ball, which he has been very well this series. 10, 8, and 9. Getting a few assists here and there. Can't get you super fill, so I don't mind going to him as captain. You can fit in all 4 studs if you take him as captain. Marcus Smart. I like going back to Marcus Smart. The minutes are secure. The shot attempts have been nice. It's 22 and 11. Didn't shoot too well at the beginning of last game. Got injured, came back, did a little bit better. But he's a guy who's just going to go out there and do pretty much everything you want. So at 12-9 as a captain, really like Marcus Smart. He does have the upside, as you saw. The first game, he was back, put up 64 fantasy points. I talked to you guys about that. But yeah, really like Marcus Smart. I think he's my favorite captain for today. Bam, I really like Bam once again. Obviously, he's not going to come out and put up 31 and 10 and 6. I can expect him to get closer to his averages of like 20 and 10. So he looks like he's in a good spot today. I do think they're going to keep getting him involved in the offense. So really like Bam. Al Horford, I like him. It's just he kind of got these Celtics guys kind of like him and Jaylen Brown kind of got lucky that Tatum was just not his normal self. Marcus Smart really wasn't his normal self. Now, I know that doesn't really affect Jaylen Brown because he is like the second option or 1B option, but Al Horford, as we've seen, really wasn't too involved offensively the past 4 games, but they really needed him to step up, and he did. 7 of 14, 20 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks. I mean, it's the same thing I've said every time for Al. If he gets involved offensively, he's going to have a fantastic game. Otherwise, he's going to be floating in that 25 to 35 fantasy point range, with the blocks, the steals, the assists. So I do really like him today. What is he on the utility side? 7-4, good mid-range option for Al. So I really like that. Strus should probably see, I'd say close to 35 minutes this game. I think they're going to run him out there for a good amount just because of Tyler HERRO being out. They're going to want to keep Strus out there. And he's now their best shooter. So, yeah, 6-8 for Strus. Looks like a decent play. Just sometimes a little too score independent. I know he's done pretty well this playoffs, especially rebounding the ball, but just an okay play for me today. Lowry, really like Lowry once again today. He's not too involved offensively, but there are those games where he can put up, double-digit points, close to double-digit assists. And if he does that, he's going to get you in the 30-plus fantasy point range, and at 6'6", he's going to be great. So I do like taking a shot on Lowry today as a utility spot player. Robert Williams is just a little too expensive for me at 6'4". I mean, we know Robert Williams can have a great game, get you like 35 fantasy points. But I just think at 6'4", questionable. Maybe his minutes are a little bit limited. I just don't know if I'm going to get there today. Tyler HERRO's obviously out. Derrick White looks okay. He should probably play 20 minutes-ish, 15 to 20. Only going to play a little bit more if he's hitting the shots. So I don't mind, taking a shot at him at 5'4". It's just a little risky. I'd rather get to a guy like Grant Williams, whose minutes are secure. It just comes down if he's going to shoot the ball and hit his shots. Obviously, foul trouble pretty much every single game in the playoffs. He's got fouls a lot. So it just, the minutes are there. It just comes down if he's getting the shot attempts from 3. he will get you a couple of rebounds. So don't mind going to him over White. Pritchard, I just wouldn't force it. You know, he's going to play maybe 15 to 20 minutes, but not too involved offensively. Just kind of out there to take some, rest time for Marcus Smart. Excuse me. Who else we got? Gabe Vincent. I do expect him to play probably 25-ish minutes. But the thing with that is he's really not going to be involved offensively at all with Kyle Lowry, obviously Jimmy, all those other guys, force feeding Bam. So he'll just be more of an afterthought on the offensive end. Maybe sees 6, 7, 8 shots at most. Probably, half of them coming from 3. 4,600, it's an okay price tag for him. I'd just rather take a shot on a guy like OLADIPO, who will probably play 20 plus. I'd say he's going to get at least 25 minutes today. I'd be astonished if he doesn't. He's the best player off the bench now. Can go very cold from the floor when it comes to shooting, but if you've seen 25 plus minutes, we know there is room for a lot of upside for Victor. If he is hitting the shots, he can, or get to the free throw line. He's going to get you, mid double-digit points. Can get you a few rebounds, boards. He's pretty good at getting the steals as well. 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So really good at that. That helps a lot. So really like Victor Oladipo today. I'm assuming he'll be very popular. PJ Tucker will probably be pretty popular. Played 38 minutes. Did very well offensively, 17 and 7. Kind of an outlier game for him. Gained 17 points. I don't think he's got that all season. Back in January is the last time he got close to 17. So I don't mind it at 4,200. He can get you, 25, 30-ish fancy points. Just comes down if he's hitting his threes and getting some rebounds. But with the whole team kind of healthy, kind of expect him to go back to his normal self of maybe like 20-ish fantasy points. 4-2, that's not bad. I just don't know if I'm going to force it today. Duncan Robinson should see maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 at most. I just don't know if I'll get there. This stat line is very misleading, 6, 5, and 3. He came in with about 6, 7 minutes left in the fourth to get some garbage run and got a few rebounds, hit a shot. So I just don't think I'd get there. He's just only relying on 3. Maybe he hits, a couple threes, and that will really help your lineup out. But if not, I just don't trust him defensively to be out there for too long. They'll just take advantage of him, and yeah, I just don't think it's worth it unless you want to get really risky like the last guy's lineup where you just put Tatum and jamming all those stars and you need to go to a guy like Duncan Robinson at the bottom. Dedmon should see maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Not really worth it. And then Caleb Martin will probably be the other guy coming off the bench. We saw last game, 10 minutes. Shot the ball well, but I do expect him to play probably 15 minutes. Not too involved offensively, kind of out there just for his defense and to give the guys some breathers. So I want to go there. It's, even with Tyler HERRO being out, I don't think it really changes too much. Strus's minutes kind of go up a little bit. Assuming Kyle Lowry's will maybe go up a little bit more. They are, being careful with this hamstring injury, so maybe they're going to limit him a little bit. He did play only 29 last game. I expect him to, be around the same number, hopefully a few more minutes. But even with HERRO out, it's just going to be coming down to, bumping up Lowry's minutes maybe by a couple, Strus by a couple. Victor's probably goes up to around 25-ish, maybe even 30. I could see him being the one who gets extended the most. Duncan Robinson maybe gets to 15 at most, and then Gabe Vincent will probably see 20-ish, 25. But I think my favorite play out of all of them is obviously Victor Oladipo. So going through all of that, it's kind of the two routes. If you want to get very chalky, you play one of these studs. Jaylen Brown has now come into the equation of, being one of the optimal captain plays. But I think, I don't know. I'm tied between going with Tatum as captain today or Marcus Smart. But if you do Brown, you can also fit in Tatum, Butler, and Bam. That leaves you through 3K. I mean, you had to get down to a guy like, I mean, you could fit in Duncan, and then you got like Caleb. But it's just one of those lineups where you really need all these guys to go off, the top 4 studs, and then hopefully Duncan and Martin can get you 10 plus fantasy points. Because if they do, then it's kind of looking like it will look like the guy who won last night, where he had pretty much all the studs in his lineup, and then had 2 random guys get him like 10 fantasy points, and he was able to win it with that. So, but it's just one of those things. There's too many guys in the mid-range route, like Smart, Horford, Strus, Lowry, even Robert Williams, that can go out there and get you 30, 35 fantasy points, maybe even 40 if they're doing decent. And that really hurts the optimal captain plays of like Tatum and Butler and Brown, because if one of those guys has, like Marcus Smart, if he goes out and has like a 35, 40 fantasy point game, he's going to be more worth it to have in the captain spot, just because of allowing you to, he saves you, as Marcus Smart as a captain saves you almost $2,000 on, versus going to Jaylen Brown. That allows you to go from Duncan Robinson to guys like Tucker and Oladipo, which is huge. Saves you almost exactly $3,000 on Jimmy, and then almost $4,000 on Tatum. So that's a lot of money that really helps you out with the utility spots. So I think I'm going to go with Marcus Smart today, but yeah, I think I'm going to roll the dice, go with Marcus Smart today. I think Tatum's going to have a bounce back spot. It's going to be hard to get away from Jimmy today, but I think this is what I like as of right now. Smart, Tatum, Victor, Jaylen, I meant to put Jimmy. Smart, Tatum, Victor, and Jimmy. I think this is my core as of right now for today. I really expect Marcus Smart to just kind of do what he does. Really expect a bounce back game from Tatum. Expect Victor to really step up. He's good at getting steals. I do expect him to get a few rebounds, hopefully a couple assists, and then if his shot's falling, he's going to get you 20 plus fantasy points, which will be huge at 4,400. So I really like him today. He'll be super popular. And really like Jimmy, bounce back spot. I know his knee is kind of like Tatum's injury. His knee, supposedly he could have played, but the trainers just wanted to pull him to be safe. Maybe there is a little risk with playing Jimmy. Maybe he tweaks his knee. Maybe he's not his full self. Maybe he's not fully explosive or aggressive. If that happens, then obviously going to guys like Bam and Kyle Lowry would really help out. But really like Jimmy today. These are my 4 core players as of right now. Maybe I'll switch the captain spot. We'll see. But make sure to follow me on Twitter at HeartDFS. Throw a like on this video. Let's try to get to 20 likes, and then hit the subscribe button. Do appreciate all your support. And I'll see you guys in the NBA Prize Picks video later today. Peace.